If you have study data that's been exported from Watson to Excel and looks like this, and it has 25 or fewer time points going down, 10 subjects going across, and 5 sheets of data, then you can just copy it all by clicking here. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to hit Command while I hit all 5 sheets. Copy everything and go to the ISR picker, sheet A, everything's highlighted. And we're going to copy into that to paste those 5 sheets into A through E, and that's going to automatically format the data into the ISR tab. If you don't have Watson, then if you can format your data from time point to subject to concentration, then you can just paste it all in right here. As you can see, the total number of samples and the number of subjects have been calculated. First thing you want to do is put in your LLOQ and the number of times you want to multiply. There's a 3 there now, but you can put in anything. So the picker will not choose any samples with concentrations below the product of these two numbers. Now, if you want to choose the Cmax, just click this checkbox right here, and that'll give us the Cmax for each subject, as you can see. You can also choose the min or the min on the back curve. That's used in bioequivalence studies if you want to choose, the minimum concentration or the sample with the minimum concentration after the Cmax. Now, let's say you don't want this sample chosen. As you can see in the blue section, all of the picks are condensed, and our first one is right here. If you don't want that sample, you can put a 2 to deselect it. And as you can see, the number of picked is 35 right here, so that's going to go down by 1. Let's say we want the next one, we'll put a 1 there, and that will select that one. This is going to go back to 35. You can see 640 here and 640 here. It's no longer the 671. So I'm going to just get rid of those. I'm going to uncheck this. And here we have our section to pick random samples. So if you want to choose 5 random samples for each time point, you're just going to put a 5 in here. As you can see, this section is color-coded, and these checkboxes correspond to time points right here. So here we have 5 picks for each of these time points. If there's zeros in this column, then that means those time points don't have any samples for them. Or if there's less than 5 but more than 0, then there aren't enough samples to pick 5 for that time point. If you don't want a certain time point selected, you can just uncheck a checkbox here, like you can close the range of samples that you'd like to choose. I'm just going to show you one. Now there's 0 time points, 0 samples for that time point selected. You can also choose random picks for each subject, and you can choose a total number of random samples for the total data set right here. Probably won't use that because you run the risk of missing an entire subject, but I just thought I'd throw it in there. Now over here we can add a dilution factor in this column just to make it easier for analysts to do their analysis. Let's say you want to add a 0.1 dilution factor for any sample with a concentration over 500. You can put that in here, just give it a second, and now all the samples with concentrations over 500 have a 0.1 dilution factor. If you want to add 2, you have to start at the bottom and work up. So you can put something like this. And this is going to put a dilution factor of 0.5 for samples between 3 and 500. If you want to add 3, you can add one right there, but you always have to start at the bottom and have the highest at the bottom. I know it's kind of awkward just the way I had to format it. You can see here the percentage of samples and the number of samples chosen. You also have that right here, and that should be it. So if this saves you a little bit of time, just help me out and throw me a few bucks. Thanks a lot.